This video is on bone artifacts, and there's quite a variety here. What can you tell us about this, Mr. Tallfeather?
Well, the bone that you see here in this video is all deer bone except for this turtle shell carapace, which we'll get back to in a moment. But before the use of the discovery of metal among the woodland Indians and the archaic Indians, their use for such bone artifacts as this would have been to pin on their clothes through leather, to keep on their tunics, and such as this one right here would have been a pin more than a needle, or even this thin piece right here would have been used for pinning on clothes or pinning up whatever they need to pin, just like we would use a metal pin for. These three pins here in the middle are for hair decoration. As you can see, this one is highly decorated, has 6 grooves carved around an end, which is larger at this end, goes down to a sharp point to this end. This one also has got a round knob carved into this bone, which goes down to a very sharp point. And this pin here is rounded on one side, and this side is very flat. It's been highly polished. That's another way you can tell if it's for decoration or for utilitarian use. The more highly polished, the more decorative, then they would have used those in their hair pieces. This canine tooth probably was from a wild dog of some kind. It has been double drilled, as you can see, used as a necklace piece. Also, this small bone bead has a hole drilled through it, also as a necklace piece. And this bone bead here also has been drilled, cleaned out all the way through, polished and cut on both ends. Would have also been used as decoration, either around their neck or even in their clothing. A lot of times you'll find the canine teeth in very dry areas where things have been well preserved. They would have them sewn into their clothing as decoration. And this bone fish hook, as you can see, they take the knuckle bone, the toe knuckle of a deer, and work it out to make this bone very strong as it turns here in the crook as part of that knuckle. Also, it's been grooved very slightly here at the end. They use the bone hooks just like we would use metal hooks for fishing. And then they also used mussel shell, fresh mussel shell. As you can see in this piece, it has been drilled all the way through. Would have been used as a necklace or sewn into clothing as decoration. And also, this is a very thin piece with a hole drilled through the top. Also, small partially drilled holes in a half moon shape in these corners. I don't know if your light will pick that up or not, but also highly decorated. And then this last piece here is what's called an ear spool. As you can see, this piece is larger on this end. It has a groove around it, comes down more to a point, been highly polished on this end. And what they would do is pierce the lobe of their ear and run this bone, this end through up to this knob, and would have stuck out at the back of their ear. They also use bone for tools. This is a humerus bone of a deer, the hind leg bone, upper leg bone. You can see they've cut it off and then beveled out the inside of that bone, which would accommodate either a small drill point or a knife point. And then this bone here has been cut down and polished where it would fit in their hand like this, and they could use it, have a scraper to scrape with or a drill point to drill with. And then this is a terrapin shell, turtle shell, carapace. Sometimes they use those as a bowl, much like we would, either to mix paint or even to eat from. Sometimes they would also drill them in the sides and tie them onto their forearms or to the laps of their legs and put small beads or shells inside so that when they danced or moved it would make noise. This is really a Mississippian piece. Even the modern day Indians use this same type of turtle shell and make what they call a turtle shell carapace and fill it full of beads tight to their forearms or to their legs when they dance and make.
Well, I'm here today with Mr. Johnny B. Good looking at a few bone tools, and we have some examples here of some awls, bone awls. Here's 3 examples of some bone awls which have been finely ground. Now, how would they grind these? Well, Johnny B. Good's got a great example of how this would be done. Here's a ochre stone, or paint rock as we call them, and these bone awls would be sharpened on these stones. This hematite stone is soft, and the dust could be ground off for use, but this would also sharpen the tip of the needle. And we can see the fine examples of these grooves here in this piece of hematite. Excellent example.